Fox 61 News at 5 starts now.
A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for 2 local counties tonight as rain and winds are expected through the evening. We have team storm coverage across the state.
And as storms take over, the state is seeing much needed rain, but is it enough to help our drought conditions? Now at 5, we talk to the experts.
And breaking news now at 5, we're following a double homicide out of New Britain. We have a live crew with the latest in the investigation.
With COVID cases on the rise, state leaders are already looking ahead to the fall. And tonight, a look at their plans before students head back to the classroom.
And tonight we are on the Weather Watch alert as severe storms are possible tonight. Some areas are under a severe thunderstorm watch. You're looking right now at what the weather conditions look like across the state from Hartford to New Haven to Middletown and Mohegan Sun. So it's a soggy start to the work week and we're not done yet. Good evening and thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Yes, some of these storms have the potential to be severe with strong damaging winds or flash flooding. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now with a look at what to expect. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, yeah, we're going to take the good with the bad. Of course, we do need some of the rainfall, and we are going to be getting that here moving forward. However, we're also watching the chance for a stronger thunderstorm, particularly in western Connecticut. So a severe thunderstorm watch in effect right now for both Fairfield and for Litchfield counties until 10 o'clock. What's happening right now across the state? Just a little benign rain. This is the good stuff that you kind of want to see. The greatest risk with any storms that end up developing, as mentioned, is going to be for the chance for strong to damaging winds. However, there is a low risk, but something that can't be ruled out for the chance for a tornado. It's low, but not zero. So something that we'll be watching closely. Also a lower risk for large hail. But in any of those downpours that we have coming down today, there could be some big puddles as well. So let's take a look at the radar here moving forward. And you're seeing some of that steady rainfall right now in parts of southern Connecticut from Killingworth over through East Haddam, Chester, and Lyme. And it's been eastern Connecticut that's been hit the hardest by the drought that we're in. So this is, again, some much needed rain in Griswold all the way up through Plainfield. A break in the action for parts of western Connecticut, but southwestern Connecticut, we're watching more thunderstorms that are just about to move in to lower Fairfield County. And we're going to continue to keep a close eye on what ends up developing to the west of us, because that could end up developing into another line that passes through here between 7 to around 10 o'clock tonight. So this is what the radar could be looking like heading towards 7 or 8 with another line of showers and storms coming through. Again, the greatest risk for a severe storm in western areas. That risk does start to drop off and gets lower as you head farther east, but still more rain, more rumbles of thunder to get through before the night is through. It's all done before midnight tonight. Right now we're looking at temperatures that are in the 70s. Heading through the evening, we'll see temperatures slowly dropping back. The humidity, though, going to stick with us. And tomorrow, the heat is on. We are in for our first not only heat wave of the season, but prolonged heat wave as well. We'll talk about the hot and humid details, as well as continue to keep a close eye on the radar coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Yeah, it does look like a steamy week. Back to tonight, though. So, yeah, the storms rumbling across Connecticut have the potential to be powerful and damaging. But as Rachel mentioned, they're also bringing much needed rain to the state at a time when drought conditions are worsening.
Fox 61's Matt Karen is live along the Farmington River after looking ahead or looking into today's rain. And is it enough to get us out of a drought, Matt?
Well, I wish it was, but the fact of the matter is it isn't. One day of rain really isn't going to be enough to make up for 30 days of below average rainfall. We're here in Collinsville, live along the Farmington River. This is normally a stretch of the river where you would see canoers and kayakers. They're not here today. The water level is very low. Now, part of that is because they're doing some construction on the dam. They're regulating the flow in this area. But a lot of it is also due to the drought. And you can see some of the sticks and debris that are sticking up out of the water because it is just so low. This is normally where you would see a lot of those boaters.
Every drop counts.
Which is why some water companies are asking customers to conserve.
We do send out patrols, and if we find a violator,
while others are requiring it. Aquarium is imposing part-time water restrictions in the hope of avoiding more severe measures.
the next step would be an all-out outdoor water ban. We try to avoid that, obviously, because it impacts businesses.
Tips to conserve water include showering instead of taking a bath, not watering the lawn or washing the car, and waiting until the dishes and laundry are full to start a cycle.
We are nearing further drought conditions.
Martin Heft advises Governor Lamont on drought conditions. He told Fox 61 any rain is good, but downpours don't do much.
When the heavy rains come, problem is it hits the ground and it runs off.
Drought conditions not only increase fire danger, but can hurt produce production.
It'll have better flavor because of a lot of sunshine and making lots of sugar. But people may see the fruit was a little smaller.
Lyman Orchard in Middlefield uses their own water supply to irrigate their crops.
But we are watching now water use because we don't want to lose what water we do have.
They told Fox 61 why a dry summer can sometimes be better than a wet one.
A wet year, you get all kinds of diseases and you actually lose more of a crop that way.
All right, and I am told that under what would be a level 4 or 5 drought, at that point, Governor Lamont would have to make a decision on whether he wants to declare a state of emergency. Now, the state does have a plan for extreme water conservation if the drought does get any worse. They also have a program where they can share water between certain reservoirs and certain companies, but it is a last resort plan that the state hopes they will not have to use. We're live here in Collinsville along the Farmington River. Matt Karen, Fox 61 News.
All right, Matt, thank you. Of course, we know that heavy rains can affect driving conditions, and the evening commute is happening out there right now. So let's get a look at conditions on the roads.
Fox 61's Alicia Machado joins us live from the Fox 61 Storm Tracker on I-84 East, and she's heading towards West Hartford. So, Alicia, what are you seeing?
That's right. Well, things are definitely looking up now from what they were about an hour ago. If you caught us on Fox 61 News at 4, you could see back then that there was some moderate, steady rain coming down. But let's take a look now outside. You can see things are pretty good. Only minimal drops, even a drizzle, if even that. Light to no rain happening right now as we head toward West Hartford. You can see a little bit of the aftermath of this if you check out our higher cam up here. Some rain droplets up there, but things are looking pretty good on the roads other than a little bit of kickback from cars in front of you. So you may need to keep those windshield wipers on, but definitely not as much rain coming down out here as it was about an hour ago. But as Rachel said, we're going to be tracking some potential for rain as we get later on into the evening. So stay tuned to Fox 61 and fox61.com as we track those conditions. But things looking a lot better out here right now than they were earlier. So we're going to send it back to you guys. For now, live near West Hartford in the Fox 61 News Storm Tracker, I'm Alicia Machado for Fox 61 News.
All right. Thank you, Alicia. And Governor Lamont is activating Connecticut's extreme hot weather protocol. It's meant to help ensure the availability of cooling centers over the next several days. That kicks in tomorrow morning at 8 and will run through Sunday, July 24th. Anyone in need of a cooling center should call 211.
And make sure to download the free Fox 61 News app. There you can track the latest forecast in your area and watch the Fox 61 News live in the event that you lose power. All right, we are following breaking news tonight from the town of Oxford. An active scene right now at the Dollar General on Oxford Road as firefighters work to put out a fire. Officials with the Oxford Center Volunteer Fire Company say there are multiple departments on scene battling this fire. We are working to get more information on it, and we'll bring it to you as soon as it becomes available.
We're following breaking news out of New Britain, where police are investigating a double homicide. Fox 61's Gabby Molina is live along Walnut Street, where this happened, with more details. Gabby, what are you learning?
Well, Sarah, police are still on scene. They've been here since about 1 o'clock this afternoon. You can see behind me that this is the apartment building that they've been focusing on, 57 Walnut Street. That's where police say they were called earlier this afternoon for a report of shots fired. Police say when they got here, they found a 33-year-old man from Rocky Hill who had been shot laying on the ground outside of the building. He died at the scene. Officers also found a 25-year-old New Haven man inside an apartment who had also been shot. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police say the men knew each other and had gotten into an argument that turned violent, and the men shot at each other. So police say that this is an isolated incident and there is no danger to the public. Now, neither of those men have been identified at this time, and police are still asking that anyone with information give them a call. Live in New Britain, Gabby Molina, Fox 61 News.
All right, thank you, Gabby, and we'll continue to check in with you tonight. Well, new details out of Middletown after a shooting this afternoon. Police say 2 cars were shooting at each other around 1:30 this afternoon near Rome Avenue and Stack Street. Police say 1 bullet struck the door to the Amazing Grace food pantry. No injuries were reported and no arrests have been made. If you have any information, you're asked to call police.
And more breaking news tonight. Hartford police making an arrest in a homicide investigation. 20-year-old Christian Feliciano was shot and killed back in February on Franklin Avenue. And tonight, police announcing they've arrested 23-year-old Leonard LaBoy in connection with that shooting. LaBoy faces murder, conspiracy, and criminal possession of a firearm charges. He's being held on $1 million bond. And another monkeypox case confirmed here in Connecticut, bringing the total number of cases in the state now to 13. The first Connecticut case of monkeypox was identified about a week and a half ago. And while state health officials continue to say the general public should not be alarmed, they also say we do need to be aware. The CDC has reported more than 1,800 cases across the country in 45 different states. Well, 1 man is dead after a head-on crash in Wolcott this morning. Police say a man in his 70s was driving north on Woodtick Road. He crossed into the southbound lane and hit an oncoming car. Both drivers were taken to the hospital. Police say the man in his 70s died. The other driver has non-life-threatening injuries.
Well, new tonight, Waterbury police are limiting van use to transport prisoners in response to an incident in New Haven that left a man paralyzed. Officials directed the city's 2 police vans be used only for bringing prisoners to and from court until seatbelts are installed and officers are trained on how to use them. Last month, Randy Cox was seriously injured in the back of a New Haven police van with no seatbelts. Police say the officer driving the vehicle braked suddenly to avoid a crash. Cox is now paralyzed from the waist down. 5 officers have been placed on leave pending investigation.